Hello, Africa. My name is Eunice Tony, and this is eTVGhana's African Women's Voices Show. It's the show that tackles issues pertaining to women as they contribute to national development. How have you been? Well, I have missed you, and I know you've missed me too. And those of you watching me live on Facebook, thank you so much. As usual, I'm going to be able to recognize your presence and acknowledge you as I usually do. Okay, so I'd like to also say a very big thank you to all the people who made this show possible all the time. And first on the list is Chana Shito. Chana Shito is Ghana's #1 pepper sauce. Okay, so if you want your food to really taste good, you need to add Chana Shito to it. In Ghana, we like our spices. So whenever you come to visit as well, always ask for Chana Shito. All right, their phone number is being scrolled right now at the base of your screen, and I'd like to hear from you. A lot of you that have used it keep telling me that you really loved the flavor, and for those who liked it really spicy and hot, you liked it as well. If you want the mild variant, we've also gotten something like that for you to make sure that you enjoy every bit of Chana Shito. And oh, my hair, how do you love the bounce today? Awo's hair is responsible for it. Awo always makes sure that my hair looks good, and I love what she does for me. I want you to give her a call and let her know exactly what it is that you want. If you want braids, if you want the hair bleached, if you want it straight, whichever way you want it, Awo will take care of you. And what I like about her is the fact that she's always close to her phone. So if you tell her right now, or if you give her a call, trust me, she's going to respond to it. Home services also are things that she really considers. So if you want her to come and do something for you in the comfort of your home, especially, you know, when you've given birth and you know people will be visiting, you need to look good, you know. So with a wig cap that is going to fit you, Awo can sort you out. You sit down in style and receive all the visitors that will be coming to see you. And oh, my dress. Somebody already commented on social media about the dress, and the person was loving, you know, the nice sleeves that she gave to me. Who do you think has been taking care of my dress? Do you know the person? Yeah. Afariwa Styles. Afariwa Styles has really been responsible, you know, for my looks, and I really love what she does for me. If I'm going out and I dress up in my Afariwa Styles, people always comment. People always want to know where it is I make my dresses. And Afariwa, thank you so much. Here's your thumbs up, okay? You can locate Afariwa Styles on Instagram and on Facebook at afariwa.styles, and she's into contemporary ladies and gents outfits which are already made. So all you need to do is to walk into Afariwa Styles and then walk out with the dress that fits you, and that's all. If you want gift vouchers to be able to give to people who have done something really nice for you and you don't know what to give them, just give them the Afariwa Styles voucher. When they go there, they will be thanking you so much for what a wonderful gift you were able to get for them. You can also give her a call. They do home services and they also deliver as well. So whichever way you want them to serve you, I'm sure they can take care of you, okay? Give them a call right now. Afariwa Styles, I'm coming back. You know, that dress I told you I liked, oh, I can't wait to wear it, and for my viewers to also get to appreciate the dress. As usual, we always have 60 seconds updates where we tell you what's happening with women in Ghana and across Africa. Well, today we're going to be about agriculture and its impact, you know, on women, and also how we're going to be bridging the gap, you know, that we find in the space. And I'm going to be talking to very intelligent women that most of you will know, and I want you to join the conversation. If you have something else you'd like to contribute to the show, please feel free to call in or to actually contribute on our social media pages. We'll definitely read it. So I'd like to link you right now to this video that is going to set the tone for our conversation. I've played it before, but I felt like it's really going to work for our conversation today. That's why I brought it back. So enjoy this video.
This is a copy by, if you can have the camera, this is done by F4L. If you show this to a young people, a young person, a young woman like me, and say go into agriculture, they're going to go into it? Definitely not. I told the World Bank the same thing. If you want to make agriculture attractive, if you want to make it sexy, start by publishing it. Get a young person who's attractive, put them on this picture. I said this in Harare last year to say, can we try to make agriculture sexy? This organization, the UN, the FOA, whoever is involved in the agriculture sector, the advertising, whoever you are, make agriculture sexy. this is the beginning point of making it attractive to the young people.
Right.
If you, the organizers, the frontiers, the people who are supposed to lead us are putting such pictures, what are you sending to a person, a young person from the village? You pick this picture and like, oh, this is what we're living. But if they see a young person here, very attractive like me, and you put me here, even the young men in the village, they'll be like, wow, I want to be like her. I mean, where am I going to find this woman? Let me join agriculture. I mean, this is practical. That's what we need to be talking about. So please, my request is that next time we're going to have such a conference, whatever is coming up, you can look for me on Facebook, Tamara Happy Face Kaunda. Put my picture there and say she's a farmer. Yeah, and a medical doctor, yeah. Well, most people, they like to see me, oh, don't look at like she's farming, she's a doctor. No, I want to be called a farmer. Right. Because the problem we have in Africa is hunger. We don't need drugs. I work in a hospital, and I can guarantee you 80% of the diseases, why we're losing young people is because of poverty. So why then can't we give them the nutrition they need instead of the drugs? That's my switching from medicine to agriculture. So that's what we should be looking at.
Fantastically said. We need to make agriculture sexy. We have to make it really attractive. So if you are home and you've always been thinking that agriculture is meant for certain kind of people who don't look attractive, that's not true. The face of agriculture is changing, and we've got women who are causing this revolution. So I'd like to introduce my guest to you. So next to me right here is a lady who also is a broadcaster, and she always talks to people about agriculture and on her show. She is the executive producer of The Ghanaian Farmer, and she is Enyonam Manye. Enyonam, welcome.
Thank you, Eunice. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you
and
too.
Good evening to your viewers.
And then the one sitting next to her is a very familiar face when it comes to agriculture in the country, because she's either doing livestock or she's doing agri-woman market. She's doing so many things when it comes to agriculture. Alberta Akosa, please join me and welcome her. How are you, Alberta?
I'm good, Eunice. Thank you.
She also is the executive director of Agri House Foundation. And she's looking good in her t-shirt. I see you wearing the gold in the soil t-shirt.
Yeah, I just got back from Bolga, so I thought it would be great to make a good representation in terms of the discussions that we are having.
Beautiful.
Today. Yeah.
I like to talk about what happened in Bolga seriously with Gold in the Soil Awards. Something fantastic went on. I saw the stories all over, and good work for you.
Thank you
good
so
job.
much.
Good job. Good job. All right. So, viewers, let's get on with the conversation. I would like to find out from you, why would we say that agriculture is important, or why would we say that women are important when it comes to agriculture? Let's start from there. Why are women important when it comes to agriculture? I can start with Alberta.
Okay. I think women constitute the larger population when it comes to agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
When you travel across the country, you realize that women are doing smallholder farming, backyard gardens to support their homes, to support their communities, to basically support and enhance livelihood, to also enhance nutrition and all that. And so when you talk about agriculture and you talk about women, for me, I believe like women are really like, we are the seed and we are the soul of agriculture. Mm-hmm. And we are the drivers, we are the engineers, because we are not only like, producing, processing, packaging for ourselves, we are feeding our communities. We are more, sympathetic when it comes to, development within our communities. So we extend that, not even only for revenue, but also to our communities. And that's why women are very key when it comes to agriculture or agribusiness.
Oh, that's fantastic. So would you want to add anything to that?
Yes. She said a larger number. I think I was reading an article that actually gave a figure that says about 70% of the agricultural sector is made up of women who are smallholder farmers, from production to marketing to processing. So it means that the men alone can't feed the country without the support of women. So of course we play a very pivotal role to the agriculture sector. And that's how come we are very important.
So now we know that we play a pivotal role. But you know the interesting thing, that people are very, very quick to say that women are the weaker vessels all the time. But when it comes to agriculture, the labor-intensive aspect of agriculture is what is pushed to the woman. You find women doing the weeding, doing the hoeing and digging and doing the labor-intensive, you know, things that agriculture comes with. How can people just forget about we being the weaker vessels and then they push us to that part of that?
It's rather unfortunate, but globally, when you read around, it says that the kind of challenges that women face when it comes to agriculture is severe. And so the FAO is actually working on some policies to help, you know, bridge the gap a little. I think I was somewhere in Asaman Kesi, and I met a woman who is about 80 years old, and she still goes to the farm. She uses her walking stick and goes to the farm. And you ask her, Mommy, why are you doing this? I say, it's a medical cry, I'm out on kakra. I'm saying, hey, so you climbed this mountain? And she said, yes. But listen, when it comes to extension officers quickly responding to women's need when it comes to their farms, it delays a bit. When it comes to assessing laborers, it takes, laborers can even, oh, yeah, they won't come. But if a man calls, he's on his way and he's going. You know, inputs for them to have access to work to the MOFA officers or go to other private, you know, offices to buy. It's a little bit of a challenge. Women participation when it comes to governance, policy making to support the agricultural sector. All of this are so much of challenges to a woman. So when you sit back and all you say is that woman is a weaker vessel, really, of all that we are doing, that is not a good, you know, statement to make about a woman who carries. I just came back from Ewutu Senya, and there is this farm manager. I've forgotten the name of the farm, for a 150-acre coconut farm, and she has about 6-month-old baby. She carries the baby to the farm to supervise and ensure work is done. How about that? So how dare you sit somewhere and give us that tagline? What is that for? No, I disagree with that comment.
We are quite strong. So now that we are talking about the challenges that women are facing in the field of agriculture, and she's mentioned the fact that sometimes when women expect that they respond to their needs, it really delays. It's part of the challenges that they face. What other challenge would you say that women are facing?
Okay, first of all, just to add on to whatever she mentioned, I think the contribution of women have really not been documented well. It's not been quantified. There is no organic data of women across the country who are really contributing. When you talk about National Farmers Day and who is winning, it's all to do with the men. It's only a few times that Mabel came on top to win the second best national farmer and all that. And
even with that, documentation was just around that time.
At that time. So there is really no strong organic data of women, whether smallholder farm, whether commercial farmers, whether processors. There is really nothing like that. For our project like the Gold in the Soil, you know, we move from region to region, and we've been trying to do that. Even that has been quite challenging because you need a lot of resources to be able to build a strong data, and that's why possibly there is a huge gap. And we may think that we are not, you know, known or whatever, but I think that is something that possibly the government, policymakers, the committees should really have to look at. When we look into that, we'll be able to really, you know, confirm the kind of contribution women are making. And possibly I think men are always, you know, taking the front when it even comes to land accessibility and all that. In some way, just came for shot the documentary in Tumu, and for one of the women, I mean, she has to go with her husband to the chiefs before she's given the land. Wow. Exactly. So these are some of the challenges the women cannot even go directly to say, I need a farm for my pepper farming, or I need a land for pepper farming. So basically it's a huge challenge that has to be, Again, I think the challenges with women and with agriculture in general really it cannot be like overshadowed or something. We have 16 regions in the country, and for me and for her, I think we travel across the countries, across the districts, and you really come into direct contact with reality. You realize that there are no mechanization centers across. Women are even hiring Wellington boots.
Yeah. Men are having to rent it.
Exactly. Wellington boots, knapsacks, 7 cedis an hour or for a day. I mean, how can we progress? Very petty things. Knapsacks, fertilizers, very petty for their backyard. They are even using to support their own families or their community. So it's basic needs. And sometimes when we go, we just have to try and support all these. But I think it's a collective challenge. It goes beyond women, though women are the face of these things, because one, you are even having issues to access the land, and now after accessing you have to even go and hire a Wellington boot, a knapsack, a thresher, a plower, and it's not even accessible. I think in Upper West, if I'm correct, it's only Joy Okra, one lady who is into the hiring services of tractors and equipment to support women, but she is also farming. So in the event when she is farming, then her equipment are quite busy. And then also one of the biggest things, the women are not only doing farming, some are also into processing. We don't have enough processing equipment around, and that's why we record a lot of the losses when it comes to post-harvest and all that. So you realize that the women in their own way, we are trying to build capacity, and they are just sharp. We are very creative people.
Wow.
They're able to process the baobab into drinks, into the cuckoo for cooking, into oils. They're able to process the moringa, the shea butter or the shea nut into cakes for feeding the poultry. So very innovative, and they catch on easily. So imagine we have processing centers across the regions where maybe after harvesting or their moringa, they are going for their neem, their dawadawa. This dawadawa has some nutritious thing for babies.
Yes.
And it's not really being harnessed. So which means there are lots of opportunities. When you go to Wale, for instance, most of the women farmers, and even the farmers, are into watermelon. And it's been going bad for a long time. I can go to Wale and buy watermelon for 1 CD. It's just recently that I learned. I learned they've even set up a processing factory for because the watermelons are always going bad. So the challenges are cutting across, right from the production stage, where I even even after harvesting, they will say that the family just say you'll be working and working, you go far, and so they have to get the tricycle to convey their harvest to the roadside. In the event where they don't have, I think an hour is 80 cedis.
If you have to rent a tricycle.
Exactly. So in the event when you don't have, then you have to carry it from the farm to the roadside.
How much can you even carry?
How much can you carry, and how much are you going to sell it even on the market? So these are issues. That's why for the Gold in the Soil Awards, we try to equip the women. We give them, this year we gave her a tricycle, because you look at what she's doing and walking, there was a need. So it's time that we really identify the need, the issues. There are little things that we can do as people. Governments can do, not only government, private, everybody can do to support if we want to scale up the sector. You see, the sector really needs to be scaled up, but I think it's, it can't be an overnight thing. It's a steady growth, but we need to
be a deliberate
and we need to appreciate the challenges. We really need to go to the ground, appreciate what is really happening. Look, you'll be amazed at what the women are doing, how they are turning their produce into processed commodities, and how it can really take Ghana to a national scale if we harness these potentials within these women. So I think there are challenges, but there are opportunities. But when we are talking about the challenges, we should be able to list these opportunities so that whoever needs to support, when we are bridging that gap, we this is what is happening, this is what we can do. That way we can really see growth, and that is a steady growth, because we all believe we can't do this overnight. Exactly. No. It's a steady approach to development, and I think it's time really we get to the ground and see what is happening. We've been able to discover so many unsung women, amazing, extraordinary women who are doing so well, but it took just a visit to the area, talk to people, sometimes getting on the ground and meeting people and they directing you to the farm. Sometimes if we stay in Accra, for instance, and say, who are the farmers who are doing well, we can give you the same names all the time. and they will always overshadow those who are
in the rural areas.
So I think it's really time we hit the ground. We have to talk, and then we have to walk it as well. There should be a balance, and then we will really appreciate what is happening on the ground and how we could support in scaling the sector up.
Well, I could see the passion in her.
Yeah.
She was trying to enumerate all the challenges that the women are facing. I'll be going for a quick commercial break. When we return, we're going to begin to understand what we can do to be able to bridge this gap. She's already given one suggestion, which has to do with having the problem and also putting by the side the opportunities that abound, so that when private institutions want to come and help, they'll be able to appreciate the problem better. They see, okay, this is the challenge, and if we're able to address this challenge, this is what we're expecting to be able to get out of it. And when two of them are put together, then things get better at a national level. Let's go for this quick commercial break. When we return, the conversation continues. Do stay tuned. And you're welcome back to eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show. Before we went on the break, we were talking about the challenges that women are facing in the space of agriculture. And one thing that came out as part of the challenge is the fact that there's no documentation. We do not have data on what women are doing when it comes to agriculture, and it's something that we have to really begin to do. So we looked around and we saw some agri stories and what women are doing, and we would like to share that information with you. AgriWatch actually is documenting what women are doing, and we will need more people to join in this conversation around what women are doing in agriculture. Let's get to see what the news is saying about the contribution of women across agricultural sectors. So Upper East, I think it's really going, is strengthening the ties they've got with AgriHouse. And I'm seeing what Canada also is doing in terms of the support for Wofa Greek. Yes. Nice. So at least what we've noticed right now is that corporate is beginning to get into the space. We saw APSA getting into the space, and it's a call for other corporate people to also come into the space as well. Exactly. And a very big thank you to Canada, because if they're having to support the Gold in the Soil Awards for the third time, this is really good as well.
I think Canada has done amazingly well, and I think their efforts were just towards having a strong organic data of women, and we were able to travel. We went to 15 districts in the Upper East region and then 11 districts in the Upper West region. Thanks to Canada, we would never have been able to travel all these districts to really document these women, tell their story through the documentary. I mean, it would be great to share this documentary with you and to really have a feel of what these women are doing on the field and how they are contributing to livelihoods, to nutrition, to supporting their communities and their homes. It's really an amazing story to share. It's really interesting to share all that with you, and it's really a call for other institutions, individuals to really hit the ground and to appreciate really what's happening on the ground, the amazing things that our women are doing, and how they only need support. And it's so very little support they need to scale up. Women just need to be encouraged, to be motivated, to know that, look, you have their back, and just say they can do it. And that's all that we need. Look, you can do it, and that's the drive. So I think we appreciate all these supports, and we're able to, I think we went to 50 farms of these women. We're able to support almost all of them with fertilizers. Nice. And then
not cutting you anyway, I'm seeing something here that significant entries came from younger women farmers. Exactly. And this is really good. What would you say about women farmers who are young getting into this field?
It's very, I don't know, it's very attractive, and it's interesting to know that some few years ago, you would only see the elderly. They are the ones who are mostly interested when it comes to agriculture. Or my mother would always follow my dad to the farm, rice farm and all that. But in recent times, there is this lady who is my friend on LinkedIn. She's a nurse.
Okay.
And yet she is a farmer. It's exciting, and she keeps giving me encouragement. You know what you're doing, I really appreciate it. We look forward to having many of you on board. I mean, people who will tell me, so what is the driving force? Why did you want to do this? And I said, my dad some years ago was a farmer. Okay. I'm sure if there were an Abelta to document my daddy's effort in the rice farm at Shah Hills back in the days, that documentary would be there today to play on TV. Yeah. But there is nothing to show what he has done over the years. So I think it is so good. The calls I get from abroad, after every episode we post on YouTube, the Ghanaian farmer on YouTube, you see that people will call. I mean, so you have this in Ghana, so if I want a land in Ghana to invest, so if I want this particular crop, the messages and the feedback. An electrical engineer sent me a message telling me he has resigned from his job and he's going fully into agriculture because of some of the interviews he's watched. Listen, now agriculture is the way to go. I was speaking at an Islamic university today, college, early this hours, speaking with a student. I told them agribusiness is the new way to make money. The value chain in agriculture is a pretty long one. So if you don't want to even do the farming bits, when your mother or your auntie harvests the tomatoes, go and buy it from them so you will not go rotten. There's another young lady who posted her mother's mango farm on LinkedIn. It was such a pity. The mango was just rotten away.
What was happening? They were not able to get buyers?
Of course. They got just a limited number of buyers. And the rest is just there because there isn't any small processing machine for her to be able to process. Listen, I was in Adan some few weeks back. I interviewed clam production. It comprises about 300 women, and that's what they do. So the men would go, at times they also go themselves. Adode you enjoy. That is what they do. Now look at the petty challenge they have. All they want is that, Enyonam, can you help us get deep freezers? Because when it's raining season, the waters become a bit dangerous for you to go in there because you have to, dive in to go and
to get the adode.
To harvest adode. Adode is pretty down there. And those times are dangerous times. So, please, can you help us get some freezers? And I told them, I'm in contact with some people. I mean, as we are speaking, we've almost raised the funding and hoping to buy and go and surprise them. These women are like, they contribute so much to the upkeep of their children. Even some of them are supporting their husbands. And other people are relying heavily on them. So if they don't have these deep freezers, these are the challenges or what comes with it. So it means that you have to buy that oddy. If you buy like say 5 sacks, you have to keep about 3 of it in the river. I mean just at the river bank, so that the waters would keep that oddy alive. So it will not die. Then you process the 2 sacks and go and sell. Then you have to, but the challenge is that at times thieves come to rob them. When they go to sleep, before you can, somebody has carried your sacks away to go and sell.
Wow.
But if they have the freezers we are referring to, when they buy, they stock it there. And they told me, if you can provide the freezers and charge us a daily fee, we are ready to pay to maintain it and to buy electricity for it and all that. So look at the pettiness,
petty
things they are looking for. And that was what motivated me and my team to introduce our initiative, #SupportTheFarmer. Like Alberta is saying, you go to farms, some of the farmers are wearing chaliwati.
And that's the reason why people feel that farmers are poor.
Thank you. How do you wear chaliwati to farm? What if you're bitten by a snake?
That's just to add on. We just donated 100 Wellington boots for a widows group. They are farmers in the north, in Solon. And some of them have actually been bitten by snakes because they go with chalote. So we had to just mobilize ourselves as a team and to donate that to them.
When you go to the field,
it's serious.
It's
serious. But I think just to add on to what Enyo is saying, I think it's time that agribusiness is branded. You see, we are talking about a lot, but it's all about branding. How do we? I think there was once a Brand Ghana something
initiative, yes.
Campaign.
And I was hoping it would grow into branding agribusiness and branding the success. And okay, so it's time we brand it because agri is really attractive. But what are we selling? Are we selling only farming, or we are selling the whole cycle?
It looks like we're selling only farming.
No, but
we really need to get people to understand what happens within the value chain.
There is packaging, there is marketing, there is photography, there is production. You create a niche. So that is when there is communication. So it's a whole cycle. So it's we have, for us now, we are taking intense even from the Ghana Christian University and all that, because they are doing so well in what's it called, in digitalization, and that's the era that we are in now. So but we need to get the youth to appreciate that, look, agric is not only going to the farm or poultry processing, but whatever I'm studying in school, I can really enhance it through agriculture.
Yeah, for instance, the communication you're talking about, we do not have documentation around what we are doing. So whoever it is that wants to pick up communication in agriculture as a niche will be like responsible for this kind of documentation.
Exactly.
What women are doing in agriculture.
And doing public relations, media relations, or you could create a niche within that sector and say, look, let me focus on agric and let me drive agenda. So the essence or the relevance of creating a brand agribusiness, brand agriculture, is very key. And then we look at a holistic approach. What are we branding? Even our food. Look at Sozafi and all that. We could, you know, we are promoting tourism, nutrition. There was a Taste Ghana. I don't know how it went.
Taste Ghana.
You see, so these are all things that have to be embodied in the brand agribusiness. So if the brand Ghana has collapsed, let's pick up brand agribusiness. Maybe we can push an agenda of brand agribusiness collectively and look at which sectors, which units are we, you know, promoting, and then we drive that agenda. That way we get everybody to appreciate that, look, agric is modern, it's a present thing, it's a noun thing.
It's not something that's okay,
exactly.
it's for the oldies.
Exactly.
Agric is no more left for elderly people. A lot of, there's this young man in the eastern region. He went to do his master's in the UK, and he's back and he has 40-acre rubber plantation, 40-acre plantain farm. What are we talking about? He had the opportunity to study in the UK. He could have decided to stay there, but he returned to go into farming. And I asked him, Kwame, what's the motivation? And he said, Enyo, the money I'm making in this, listen, the moment I posted his rubber plantation farm on my LinkedIn page, but he got a client from South Africa who said, Masa, the moment is ready, harvest and send it over to me.
Wow.
So what are we talking about? You no longer have an excuse to say there is no job.
Exactly.
There is a lot of job
in agriculture.
In agriculture, there is a lot of job. I always tell people that, listen, the snail farming doesn't take too much to do. You can still look very fresh and do your snail farming. Potatoes doesn't take too much work to do. Green pepper doesn't take too much to do. I mean, even if you don't want to get so much involved, you can just be behind and keep in, you know, investing your money there. There are a lot of young and vibrant people who want to go into this form of, I got an offer from somebody who said, we have 40-acre plot of land, and, you know, can you get us some people to come and, you know, make use of that land? And one key challenge that was mentioned has to do with how sand winning and also real estate people are taking over all the lands. We will go hungry. We will go hungry if care is not taken. I'm not saying we have to sleep on the trees, but we definitely need food to eat.
And so, it has to be on the land.
Thank you very much. And so we cannot afford to give out all the lands just for people to build. And that's why I'm so much, you know, fascinated about the backyard garden project that is going on social media. When I see people now, your car tie, it can be a small garden and you can grow something there. The 4-gallon thing, you can grow something there. I mean, that is the way to go now, because the pace at which landowners, some chiefs are letting go of their land for estate developers is just, it's with my imagination. And I'm saying, what is happening? What is happening? So these basic things Alberta is talking about. So we go to the field after every interview and they will ask, Mommy, who did I never? What are you? Even at times, the Ghanaian farmer t-shirt I'm wearing, they want it.
They want it.
Yeah.
At times, I'll say, I say yo. So many thanks to Crocodile Market who came on board as soon as we posted a news about support the farmer. So what they do is they supply us with some of the basic tools. So after the interview, I gave to you that, listen, this is just the beginning. There are many things, and they are so much appreciative of these little gestures. It means that all that he's doing, just look at what, 1 cutlass or 2, and he's so happy, he's so grateful. It has motivated him to do more. You know, Eunice, what I'll say is that Alberta on her own is doing a lot, amazing. And thanks to those who are supporting her work. I, with my team, the Ghanaian farmer, we are doing what we can do. But government should understand that they can't bear all the challenges. Their eyes are not everywhere. And we are the ones going ground, and we are meeting the people and listening
and
to
understand the actual needs.
The international partners, the World Bank, the FAO, the other people who have funding, the international embassies here in Ghana, who have the funding to support agriculture. At times, turn your eyes and look at these individuals who are doing so much. Because listen, a farmer called me, a cabbage farmer, who has about 2-acre cabbage farm in Koforidua. It rained and the farm got flooded. He said, Enyuna, my last 8,000 I invested. Enyo, how can you be of help?
Let's go for another quick commercial break. When we return, we'd like to hear what happened and what kind of help you were able to give to this farmer when we return. You're welcome back to eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show, the show that tackles issues pertaining to women as they contribute to national development. It has been really passionate here. We've had Alberta and Enyonam talking passionately about the challenges that women are facing in this space despite their contribution to agriculture. And now we've gotten to the point where we really want to summarize our conversation and look at what we need to do to be able to bridge the gap. Let's look at what we can do to bridge the gap. But I need to acknowledge those of you who are watching me on Facebook. Hey, how are you? I see you all and all your waves and all the thumbs up. I see some comments here from Apia Justice. He says, beautiful. Kaya says, I'm watching you live from Kenya. I see Lucky P. Peter saying, listen. And then Bright Kwashi says, 80 acres of cassava farm for sale. And then Bright Kwashi comes back again to say, Enyonam, get in touch. And then I'm also seeing a lot of waves from different parts of the world. I see from the United Kingdom, from South Africa, from Australia. I see another wave from Madagascar. And I see somebody else who is waving at us from Japan and from Shanghai, China. And then coming down to Africa, let's see who is watching. Yes, we already have someone from Kenya watching. I'm also seeing another person watching us from Abidjan. She says that her name is Cassandra and she's really enjoying the show around what women are doing in agriculture. Thank you so much, Cassandra. I also see another message from Togo, from Nigeria, Abuja, and Soka. I see from Axim here in Ghana. Wow, you guys are the first people to actually send your wave this time around. Usually Tamale always does that, but today Western region has taken over. Thank you so much. I see another wave from Sunyani, from Hafasini. I see from Borga. Yes, Yendi Tamale. Say we day here. Oh, yes. Thank you so much for always being with us on social media and watching and supporting us. I'm not able to acknowledge you all, but I want to say a very big thank you to you for always taking a stay with us. So now let's get to the summary of our conversation as to how we are going to be able to bridge the gap. Women are doing so much. We've understood the fact that when women call that they have certain needs, it's really very difficult for them to get the responses they want. It delays, maybe because they are women. That's what we are beginning to assume. But we need you to actually respond to our calls and to our needs. We've also found out that documentation is a problem. We don't really have information around what women are doing when it comes to agriculture. We don't even have much about what men are doing, but for women, not at all. There's nothing going on. Another challenge is the fact that we have people like AgriHouse Foundation and the Ghanaian Farmer and other private people who are taking the energy and the steps to go find out the needs of these farmers, but are not being engaged by the major stakeholders. So we think that it's something that has to be done. Let's see how our stakeholders can actually call upon these private individuals who have gone out to find out the needs so that the actual thing that is needed to be done for farmers are addressed. How can we go to farmers and we find out that they are renting Wellington boots? We found out that they're renting, the tricycles, so this is not the best. So let's not just dwell only on the challenges. Now let's look forward and see what do we need to do to be able to bridge the gap and to make women cash into agriculture. It is the future of Africa. We say we've got a lot of natural resources. We've got crude oil, we've got rubber, we've got diamonds, we've got bauxite and everything, and the cocoa, yes. But what are we really doing about, what we can get in agriculture? And it's not so expensive. We've got so many tomatoes that are rotting in places because we don't have processing, plants for them. And well, we know that One District, One Factory is beginning to look into that space, but corporate, we are also calling upon you to come into this space and see what you can do. Already we saw what Canada is doing to support the space. We've seen what ABSA is also doing, and we've also seen what some chiefs are also doing to support, but it can't end there. We need a lot more people to help support. So I'm coming back to you, and I think I've done a good summary for whoever is joining us right now. Let's talk about what we can do to actually bridge the gap. And you were saying something about agribusiness. What was it you were saying?
So I think it's time we look at brand agribusiness. If the Brand Ghana office is still in existence, and I think it should be quite active now. People are looking at realistic, practical solutions. We are looking at getting to the field and appreciating. Smallholder farmers contribute a lot, and over the years we hear that smallholder farmers were able to build their country. It's steady growth. We are looking at long-term impact. We are looking at positive impact, sustainability, scaling things up, and we could only do it through an intentional approach where we know that these are the very little issues. It shouldn't be only about, I mean, NM is doing well, the Agri Foundation is doing its bit. When people hear about this, it shouldn't be about who you know only. No. It should be reach out. How do we drive an agenda together? We can't always be duplicating a lot in the system. And through this effort, I believe we can bridge the gap. And I mean, it's just a direct thing. We don't need rocket science to get
that. So your point is we should brand agribusiness,
exactly,
right?
And then secondly, I think she also mentioned something that is needed to be highlighted. You know, there was about the home garden. You know, Agri also started the one household, one garden.
Oh yes, I remember. How did that go?
We were able to support 67 homes out of the 700 homes that signed signed on that. And I think it's
only 67 homes out of about 700 people that signed up, just wanting, you know, the seedlings.
Exactly. And this would have been very sustainable if maybe private people, corporate Ghana, government has come in. We thought that there was a lot of panic buying, scarcity and all that. And we thought that the government would have done a lot of good to invest in something that is more sustainable than giving cooked foods to people. Because they were providing cooked foods to people. I mean, for how long can you give me food to eat? Why don't you teach me how to do it? So in our own small way, we're providing seeds and seedlings.
For and people then, to have the backyard farming.
Exactly. And out of 700 homes that signed up, only 67. So we had a lot of seedlings, and people came to our office to just pick it, and we taught them how to go about it. And these are very realistic, direct, practical solutions the government should look at. When they are setting up committees and all, they should involve individuals. They read about, we may not be very knowledgeable, but we are on the ground.
We're on the ground.
So if you are providing cooked food, for how long? I don't think they are still providing the good food.
No, it's not happening.
No,
it's a cease.
But we could have done it by teaching people how to, you know, fish, than to say, let me give you cooked food. And then, so please, I think we are looking at positive impact and sustainable approaches that would influence the whole agricultural agenda at the end of the day. And we can only do this if we get to appreciate what the solutions, the issues are, and introducing interventions that will really provide realistic and practical solutions.
Okay, so Enyinam, would you want to contribute to what we can do to bridge
Yes, so with regards to how you can help or how government or stakeholders can help, I think right now there's a big challenge, or there's a big gap with extension officers who attend to farmers in the country. Okay. It would interest you to know that one extension officer is attending to about 200 farmers.
Okay.
Measure the effectiveness of that.
So maybe that's the reason why they're not able to respond to the calls of the women who keep calling.
How possible is that? So let's increase, first of all, the admission to the agri colleges, and please, if you can train more women who also become extension officers to attend to my women from, because that is that's the angle. My men are equally, but they have ways of getting their, you know, guys to come around and attend to them, and leave the women at the mercy of whatever happens. So let's get a lot more extension women who are, you know, going to attend to their women, you know, the women, aged women especially, who are into farming. So if you call the man, it's like, maybe then quickly she rush what's going to help the man. Now, secondly, I also think that access to credit is very important. We need access to credit for women. The men are finding ways. You see, this whole thing is that the men always have their way around it. But the women, but it will interest you to also know that women are risk takers. The risk we take, I can confidently say, some of the men do not dare to take that risk. And we are committed to repaying such loans. Exactly. There's a research that shows that women are, likely to pay their loans more than the men. So if you can get some form of funding to support women, and also please, the men who will tell their wives, let's consume your produce in the house and I'll go and sell mine, please stop it. She didn't go and farm, stand on the sun, and then you tell her, let's consume yours in the house and let me go and sell mine. Why is it so? Let's, move away from that. Yes, and when training programs are being done, let's have an equal number of men and women. Yeah. Because if in the absence of a man who will come and help, but if she was present at the training program, she knows how to go, the basic knowledge she picks, she can apply it so that she can get it going. So all I'm saying is that there is a lot of things that can be done. And if we too, the Ghanaian farmer, okay, our better from Agri House, we are called to training programs. We are empowered. We are groomed or taken to a higher education to go and learn on how to train these women. On our own, we are doing very small. The 80-year woman, the woman carrying the kontomire, I saw you posting the picture. Yeah. She's in Asamaika. I went to present items and I gave her chocolate. Trust me, she cried because she said, "Mendi chocolate da."
That's terrible.
It's very terrible.
We just have to go for our final commercial break. Okay. It's really, really a passionate conversation for us, but let's just go on this break. We'll return very shortly. And you're welcome back from the break. So I'll just like you to get to see some of the farmer support that has been going on, by Agri House Foundation and also by the Ghanaian farmer. Let's appreciate some of the things that they have done. Okay, I see Enyonam in the shot right now. Who is that woman that's standing there?
She is a 2-acre plantation farmer.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
And she's 71.
She's 71.
Yes.
So pretty, yeah.
Amazing.
And this is an oil processing in Sawam. It employs about close to 50 women.
Wow.
Yes.
Women are doing marvelous work. So do we have more of this, please, Kwame? What's happening here?
And this is a tomato farmer somewhere around Kaswa, around the Dainsu River. She has about 5-acre green pepper farm. So I was on her farm to visit her. And it's interesting. She does it for export, actually.
She's actually exporting.
Yes.
And
these are my clam production women.
Wow.
So that's how they go. There are people who are removing the clam from the shell, and there are those who carry the shell to go and deposit somewhere else so that they can also sell the
division
shell.
Of labor.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And these are about 300 women.
That's amazing.
Yes. And this is my yes.
Wow. Let's also see what Agri House Foundation is doing with the Gold in the Soil Awards, where you are rewarding a lot of women. So that's the ultimate winner, right?
Yeah, that's Portia. And they were able to support her with a tricycle. She has a soya bean farm, millets farm, and she's really supporting the women in her area. So we were able to contribute and give her this. So yeah, Portia is doing very well in the Upper East region.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and this is amazing. Some of the winners were able to award. We rewarded 15 of them. 15
winners.
Of them, and then everybody went home with something: knapsacks, Wellington boots.
Because you already understand the needs on the ground.
Exactly. And then we try to get them to be gracious a bit so that people don't, she was talking about the attire. So they don't come out with their,
the actual thing they go to the farm with.
But this is really an award ceremony. And people should really, there are lots of awards that people are supporting. I think it's about
time.
But
all right, so maybe we should just take a look at what we can say as our final words, to women. You mentioned that we rewarded like 15 women. Was this the first time they were coming as winners, or they've been winning over and over again?
No. So these are people that very organic. We went to the ground ourselves to really search for them, and nobody giving us the list, but really search for them to reward them, to visit their farms, know what they are doing, and how we could support. And I think that's the overall agenda. But ultimately, we believe like women. You see, we've spoken a lot about the challenges and all that we are facing, the solutions. And I will plead with our women. Support come down. We are talking about all this. When you go to the north, there are a lot of development partners who are supporting. So we can't really override those facts. But realize that if it comes to Alberta, every day Alberta is taking it. Alberta will not even say that my sister is there. So today let it go to my sister. Let's share.
Let's share it.
That is the only way we can grow.
Women, let us share.
Let us share.
If you've gotten it 1, 2, please stand aside for another woman to also get some.
Exactly.
I think this is a fantastic
we
contribution.
block our own shine. We block our own shine. Yes.
And you know, would you want to give your final words?
So finally, all I'll say is that women are doing exceptionally well. They are helping to feed the country, create jobs, and reduce poverty. So they need empowerment to be able to keep up with the pace and not give up so easily. So if anybody is out there, whether you are in Ghana or you are outside Ghana, the Ghanaian farmer has a lot of initiative we want to roll out. But all of this come with funding, which an individual house alone cannot bear it. So you can follow us on our social media, Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. The Ghanaian Farmer.
The Ghanaian Farmer. And yours is Agri-House Foundation.
So you can follow Agri-House Foundation and also know what we are doing on a daily basis.
Yes, I know that one of the things you are doing is the Agri-Woman Market.
Yes, the Agri-Woman Marketplace.
And so when is it coming up for this month?
This Friday is a monthly marketplace that we've created for women. It's basically so free for every woman, be it a farmer, processor, marketer. You can just come. We give you the exhibition booth and the table chair. You just come with your products. And then you come and set up. It's for free, and this is what we are also doing to support women
to sell their produces.
Most of them are still recovering from the pandemic shock and all that, and they need to be motivated. It's more of a networking platform as well, and lots of games happening while they are selling, a lot of mentorship and then training programs happening for the full day. So we encourage people to pass through on Friday at our office at Jowulu and then support these women, buy from them, encourage them, motivate them, and then let's see how we could grow together.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, we have to draw the curtain on our conversation today, and I want to believe that you were able to get something out of everything that we've said, and we hope that this conversation doesn't end here. If you are a stakeholder who is watching us, please reach out to the individuals who are on the grounds. We beg of you, okay? We want to hear about Ghana, championing a lot of things when it comes to agriculture as well. We are championing excellence in other aspects. Let's also champion agriculture. Thank you so much for joining us, and I want to say good night, and until I see you at same time next week, do enjoy the rest of our interesting lineup for you.